All right, it's recording.
We already recorded once and we got interrupted. So
Take two.
So hopefully this will be the video that gets uploaded, not the random one. So welcome. I'm Carrie. How do I even start now? I don't even know how to start. I'm Carrie.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Sarah.
And we are Three Trail Stitchers. This is a channel about cross stitch, but I figure people figure that out pretty quick. So what had I just said? We got back from our trip to Minnesota on Tuesday. We left Minneapolis that morning and we drove to Blue Earth, Minnesota to go to Welcome Stitchery, which we'd heard about. Whitney's aunt had told her, you know, you should check out Welcome Stitchery because it used to be in Illinois. But when that shop owner decided to close, Justine, and I don't know if she's a co-owner or not, bought the shop and moved it to her hometown of Blue Earth, Minnesota, which is about an hour and 45 minutes outside of Minneapolis. And so we had just decided to go, and I don't know that she's been open that long because she said that her grand opening is next weekend.
Yes.
And so it was awesome. I feel like I'm going quick because we already settled. So we walked in and she was like, I know you guys, because apparently she had watched our floss tube. And Sarah apologized to her for having to watch her floss tube. And she was talking to Carolyn Manning, who lives in Mankato, Minnesota, and is doing an exclusive pattern for her grand opening. I think it's called 10,000 Lakes or Land of 10,000 Lakes or some lake.
Like
it's
that.
really intricate. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And she is going to be at her grand opening, as is, I believe, Kathy Haberman from Hands On Design. So if you're anywhere near Blue Earth, Minnesota, like I would legit drive back for it, but we have spent all of our money. We're never going to financially recover from this.
Right now.
When we do financially recover, though, we will be making a trip back
Yeah.
because there's also a yarn knit shop in Blue Earth and a quilt shop that they had talked about. And it's also home of the Charlotte Creek Giant
Oh.
and his little buddy Sprout.
So when you drive into Blue Earth, there's a giant statue of the Jolly Green Giant and like a little visitor center, which we went to, and everybody was super nice.
In fact, as we're driving in, who was driving?
Carrie was driving.
Carrie was driving, and I look over and I was like, oh my God, this is Jolly Green Giant. And we
Yeah.
had to turn around so
Yeah.
that we could go back
get a picture of him.
and get a picture. And
Yeah.
goodies.
So in this little town, because it's the home of Jolly Green Giant, they paint little sprouts and put them all over the town. They're all painted differently, probably by different organizations.
yeah,
They're
very
adorable.
cute. We did not go into the town because we were still 5 hours from home, so we needed to get home. But we went to Welcome Stitchery. I highly recommend it. Justine, the owner, is so kind. She was so
was
nice.
amazing,
She was
yes.
like willing to do, anything, cut fabric for us, and very
Search the fabric for us.
well,
Yeah.
all
because
kinds
when
of
I
stuff.
show my haul, there's like, I had multiple pieces cut because I have an idea. And she just, no problem at all, just cut it, serged it, and was talking to us the whole time. So
yeah, it has tons
very
of
kind,
patterns.
sweet person.
There's a holiday room that has, how do I say that? It has a holiday room that has
Instead
like
of the last one.
Christmas, Halloween patterns, tons of fabric, tons of floss, sale bins, and I mean all kinds of stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
it's very much to us at least like a destination LNS, like Silver Needle or Stitchville or something like that. It was way less intimidating to us.
Then Stitchville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we liked Stitchville, but this was just less. It was.
Yeah,
It's
we
a little
liked-
bit smaller store, but I don't feel. I mean, I still feel like they had everything
Oh
I wanted.
yeah. all
Yeah.
kinds of
I
stuff,
didn't
even
feel
more.
like anything was missing. And she even offered at one point. I showed a little table in the back. She goes, "Do you want me to clear that off for you guys to sit down?" I was like, "No, we're good."
Yeah.
So
It was just a really fun experience. So if you are anywhere near from Kansas City, Blue Earth is about 5 hours, but you're within I don't know how short, but you're within a not too far distance from also the Stitchery Nook in Osage, Iowa.
which we didn't stop at because
Yeah.
kind of by the time, well, number one, we were pretty much out of money.
Yeah.
But then we were also just like, we were tired. We were just ready to go home.
Yeah.
But we are trying to plan. I don't know when it will be because we have to saved for Galleria now, but we are planning on another trip up there, and we will stop at the one in Osage, Iowa on our way. So
Yeah, we just really loved it. It was just such a great experience, and
we can't
Justine
say
was
enough
awesome. So
nice things about it.
So welcome Stitchery, check it out. And if you used to go to the shop in Illinois, I bet you're gonna love this one too.
Yes.
So we will, this video, I don't know how long it'll be, but we do have Disney haul, but we're gonna wait until the end to share our Disney haul so that people who don't wanna watch it.
Don't have to. You
Yeah.
can click it
I
off.
don't know who wanna see it, but
I know, right? It's very awesome stuff.
so none of us, I know, because we just filmed this part, none of us have finishes this week. So, but that's life. So, but we do have whips, of course. We always have whips. So when we got home, I did not stitch the second night in Minnesota because what I wanted to start was not going to work on the fabric I had. It may have, but I think it was slightly too small and I didn't want to start. I was going to do Tiny Modernist Sleepy Hollow, which was her Halloween style from like 3 years ago. But the fabric I had was, I just don't know if it would have worked. And I'm not going to start something that huge if I don't know the fabric's going to work. So that is tabled yet again. I've had it kitted up with like the floss and stuff for probably 2 years. So instead, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to start, but I've been feeling guilt about ignoring my sals. So I picked up Made to Create, which is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is on 16 count oat by Bestitch Me, and it's like iridescent. So basically what I've done over the last couple days is I got the C done. I got this spool of thread done, and the thread coming off of it's kind of hard to see in this lighting. I started this pin cushion up here. I'm avoiding this tape measure with all of my life because I'm hoping it's just going to work with one less stitch because I stitched it wrong and put it away. So anyway, so I'm just going to work on this. I think this is going to be my new 25/7 thing. So until I get some progress or until I get bored with it or whatever. So I worked on that. I worked on last night. I did a Zoom, my first stitchy Zoom. I know lots of people do that, but I hadn't partaken in one yet with Memphis Sarah and Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Primitives. And we are selling the Little Stitcher Labyrinth pattern together. And this is she has 2 labyrinth patterns. This is the one that has all the characters like Sarah and all the, what is the character's name? Sarah, yeah. And all the, I'm questioning myself, and all the characters. The other one has Gareth and her in like the ballroom scene with like the labyrinth beneath. But we're doing this one. And so we Zoomed last night and it was awesome. So it's kind of like we had known each other forever. So it was really fun. And they're both Disney and Universal people. So we chatted about that. I totally got, during that hour-and-a-half Zoom, I got the L done and half the A. So I know if I ever went to a StitchCon or something, I'm not getting stitching done. Let's just face it. So, but I did the rest of this last night before I went back to my Made to Create. I'm very excited for this. Little Stitcher patterns are
I love them.
easy to stitch.
Yes, they're great to stitch.
And so I'm excited. And this is Bestitch Me fabric as well. And this is Through the Stones, which is one of our fabrics of the month.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I feel like mine is darker than
I don't
that.
think
Like grayer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I don't think I
bluer.
got that
Yeah.
one.
I also went through 3 different fabric choices for this. And I really wanted to do the one I bought at Stitchville, which is sort of like a iridescent pink, blue, white.
Mhm.
But when I looked at the pattern, there's a lot of white and I didn't want it. I didn't think it would show up. So, and then the other thing I did this week was sort my floss, which is what we were doing when we got interrupted. We were talking about that. So this may not be for everyone, but Sarah had seen on Facebook someone
Someone had been to an estate sale and they bought a box of floss, and this is how it was sorted. It was sorted into envelopes.
Yeah, so we just decided to try it because floss storage is a never ending struggle for me. And my storage is like Joann's bags and it's just not good. Or like I had a big tote bag that was just full of DMC.
Yes.
And I just kept buying it. So every time I start a project, I just buy all the DMC, which is just wasteful. And it's not like you're not going to use it, but still. So what we did was we bought the peel and seal envelopes, like just letter sized envelopes, cut them in half. There's an envelope for each color, and then I just have it divided. I'm gonna make something a little more permanent, but I just have to decide it divided by hundreds, like 600 to 699 with index cards. And so each color has an envelope. My free 10 has like 3 envelopes because I got a whole lot of 310. And apparently I'll need it because plans. I ended up with 3 baskets this size, which some people would not want that much space taken up in their craft room. But the other night I was trying to find fabric or floss for the labyrinth, and I just went in, found the envelope I needed, pulled it out. It was so easy because I like floss away bags. I don't, put it on rings or fancy drops or anything like that. So I think this will work for me. I like that it's inexpensive. Really only cost me like 2 of these baskets because I already had one. And then the envelopes. So maybe 25 bucks altogether. And I don't have to bobbinate. Yes.
Right, yeah.
I just am not a bobbinator. So if you're looking for an idea, if you're overwhelmed by your floss collection, like I was, maybe try it out. So those were my Whippy projects. That's part of that cookie. Drop the crumb.
It's a big crumb.
Okay,
All right.
my whip.
Your whip.
Okay, I'm still working on my Frankenstein quote that I was working on last week that says, beware, what is it?
For I am
fearless, therefore powerful. And I can't remember, I don't have my phone with me. I can't remember who the pattern is by, so I'll have to look it up and tell it next time.
I love the bats.
But I'm about halfway through. And that's the only thing I've been working
And that's
on.
on Be Stitch Me.
It's on
No
Be
name.
Stitch Me. Yeah, it's like a greenish, kind of hard. It looks more gray here, but it's like a greenish kind of color, like a murky green color. And that's all I've been working on.
I have been working on my little Urn of Horrors. This was supposed to be mailed out June 30th, but she has also not mailed out her part. So I think we're both really good with that. So I'm almost done. I just need to finish the filling in the urn, and I have 2 more of these little flowery parts to come up, and then I'll be finished. And I'll probably mail it before next week's video, but I'll take a picture of however I finish it off to share. And that's all I've been working on because I wanted to get this done.
Yeah, I mean, it really hasn't technically been, because when did we film?
Monday.
Monday, yeah,
So we'll give ourselves a break. That's quite a bit of stitching.
Yeah.
Like 4 days.
sure.
I spent a full day basically doing my floss because Sarah had started like just sealing the envelopes and cutting them for me. And I was staring at it one night and I didn't know what I wanted to start stitching and stuff. So I just picked it up, and then once you start, you can't really. You just
And
wanna
I
get it done.
basically spent a day napping.
And then I keep finding like random skeins of floss everywhere.
Yeah.
So
But now you have somewhere to put them.
I do. So haul, we of course have haul because we went to Welcome Stitchery. And so I got at Welcome Stitchery, I got this fabric, which is 16 count pink sand Aida. And I think I'm going to end up doing my Tiny Modernist Sleepy Hollow style on this because I know it's going to fit. I'm just going to put it in the bag. The color is sort of a purpley, grayish. Yeah, it doesn't show up super great, but it's not too terrible. So this is what I think it's going to end up being on. So, and this was like $11 for 18 by 18 piece, which I think is pretty cheap. So that I bought, she had a nice like small like remnants section or like, smaller cuts of Aida pre-cut. So I got this little piece of Picture This Plus tarnish. It's just like a 10.5 by 18. But I could do something on it.
It's a great color too.
Yeah, it's good like Halloween-y.
Yeah.
You could do like
Yes.
some Halloween ornaments on it.
I got that. I bought this in her sale bin. It was 40% off. Scaredy cat, very cute. I bought this Heart and Hand. Here's the skinny on Halloween because that little alien at the bottom is amazing. And I think it has a little charm or little buttons or something inside.
It's
Yeah.
got some
Oh,
little
little
beads and
beads.
buttons. Yeah.
So this is very cute. It was just laying on the table. And then this I looked for at Stitchville because they had a model stitch and it was absolutely gorgeous. The picture's not great. But they didn't have it at Stitchville. They were out, but I was looking at Welcome Stitchery and she had it. And there's only like one person on Etsy that had it. So I'm glad I hadn't bought it.
Yeah.
But it's by, get ready for this, Alessandra Adelaide Needleworks. That wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. And it's called Spider Banner.
It's cute.
It's amazing. It's from 2011. It's 130 by 374.
Oh, wow.
It's long, but I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah,
So
that'll be neat.
in 20 years when I stitch it.
Okay, so I bought fabric from there too. And it's just orange. It's called Tropical.
I like it.
It's a very good
Orangey.
orange.
I bought it to do this pattern on. which I also
Amazing.
bought
I love it.
from Welcome Stitchery. And I bought the Frankenboo photo booth, which I think is adorable.
It is freaking adorable.
And this is called Haunting by T.A. Smith Designs.
I like that too.
And this is by Stony Creek. It's called Hocus Pocus.
That one on the back too.
Yeah, that's cute. And that is my haul from,
Do you want to show
Welcome
your,
Stitchery.
oh, that's with your plans.
I'll just do it with my plans, yeah.
So I also bought the same color Carrie got, the
Pink sand.
pink sand, because I am also going to go back and do the Tiny Modernist Sleepy Hollow, but I am going to do the drums. So we stood there and figured it up, and I had her cut 4 pieces for the drums, and then she also cut 4 pieces for my toppers of my drums. This is what I mean by her being very kind and patient, because
Yeah,
she and I went through the math not the math, but we were trying to, she wanted to make sure she was getting the right cuts and then all that stuff. So it was just great. And so I will be kitting this up very soon because I really want to put this in my rotation to get started. And then I bought
Jardine Privé.
I'm not even gonna say that.
That's my 2 years of
Something
French.
in bobbin. What is that?
Scissors and bobbins.
Okay, scissors and bobbins. And the only thing, as soon as I saw it, I thought they were
so
spools,
cute.
spools of thread instead of bobbins, but they made me think of my mom and grandmother. So,
Yeah, I
Had
love
to
that.
have
I
it.
love the scissors.
and then I'm kind of really into the small samplers with the alphabets and little bitty pieces. So I bought Plum Street Samplers Free Bird. And then I bought the Needle Notions Bewitching
I
Trio.
love these.
And they are actually on 16 count, so I don't have to figure anything else out. Those are cute. I love them. And then the Needle Notions Sampler Santa, which is on 28 count, and I believe we're hoping, Justine and I were trying to figure it out if it's over 2 threads. Otherwise, it's going to be huge because I'll probably do him on 14 count. But I think he's super cute. And
It's
if he
probably over
works
two, and,
out,
like,
it probably is. And if he works out, there's a Mrs. Claus that I'll be ordering from.
well, and like back to like her kindness, this designer is in, I think she said like Rochester, Minnesota.
Mhm.
And so she called her to ask her the question, and she wasn't there. The designer wasn't at home, but she left a message, and like she was willing to call the designer to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
how
that's
it was supposed to be
amazing.
stitched.
So
Very
if
nice.
it works out, I will be buying the other one from
Yeah.
Welcome Stitchery. And then I got a couple of things from her.
Like remnant.
Remedy. These are like 5.5 or 5.5 by 6 1/4 squares.
Those are good for ornaments.
It's called Sage. I thought that'd be good for Christmas ornaments. Both of these are called Dense Frog, but one's by Picture This Plus and one's
That's
by
fog.
Dense Fog. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in this video or if it was from the first video, but someone in my neighborhood was shooting off the M80s every hour on the hour until 5 o'clock in the morning. And I woke
it's like
up.
a frog that just doesn't get the
Oh
joke.
my, it's just a frog. It's me. I'm the dense frog.
It's like,
today.
ribbit.
And so I just got very little sleep last night because one of my cats could care less, but my black cat, Fiona, the loud noises upset her a lot. And unlike my old cat, Kermit, who didn't like them, who'd just go hide, no, Fiona has to come and be right up next to me. And
Yeah.
so every hour on the hour till 5 o'clock in the morning, they went
Look at
off
Austin.
and here
Okay,
came
nothing
Fiona
like that.
right up next to my face. So dense fog, there's two different pieces.
That's cool. I like that. It
Um,
makes me think of the one you bought from that mountain or whatever the one was. What was
The Egyptian sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me think a lot of that too. I'm just,
Oh, it's Picture This Plus.
well, one of them
Oh,
is,
one of them
but
is.
I don't know. Anyway, there's two pretty good sized pieces, so. And then non-stitchy stuff, I had to get stickers when we were at the general store in Minnetonka.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And then
This
when-
one's awesome because it says, "Who runs the world?
squirrels. And then of course, when we were in Blue Earth and we were at the
Jolly Green Giant.
Jolly Green Giant Welcome Center, I'm so sorry. I had to get my postcard, a couple stickers. They had these cute little, there's a sprout, I don't know if you can see them, and a green giant charm, and I'm gonna turn them into zipper pulls.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then this is just believe in yourself, even if no one else does. So it's
Little Yeti guy.
a little Yeti guy. I don't know why they had him there, but he had to come home and live with me. This is gonna become a needle minder. So those are all of my treasures from our weekend. Well, not
Yeah,
all of
we
them,
spent a
but
lot of
of
money.
them.
We spent
Oh.
too much money. But you know what? It was fun.
it
We had a
was
good
a blast.
time.
We had a
Who
great
needs
time.
to eat? Nobody needs to. I mean, we don't.
Right.
eat.
Ramen is cheap,
Right.
and you can do a lot with it.
So it was nice. It was a nice little getaway weekend trip. So
It was.
plans. My plans are maybe creates my 25/7 at least until something frustrates me on it. And then I also want to work on Labyrinth. I want to try to work on it a little bit each day, but I also want to start the new Tiny Modernist Halloween Sal.
Sal, when witches ride.
Yeah, when witches go riding. I think it's
Witches
probably
go
going to be that poem or that, the thing that you see on lots of patterns, but it looks super cute. The first
Yes.
part just came
Mhm.
out and I really enjoyed stitching her Halloween Sal last year.
Yeah, her video was fun.
So I am going to start that sometime this week, but I don't have fabric cut and ready for it yet. But I do have all the floss. So those are my plans.
Me, I'm gonna try to finish, hopefully this weekend, my Frankenstein quote, and then I'm gonna start the Tiny Modernist, and I dyed this fabric
Look at this fabric.
Look at this.
yesterday. This is just mainly coffee dye. I did a little bit of tea and actually a little bit of Coke because I had like an empty can or almost empty can that was sitting around, so I just
Threw it
threw it
in.
all in there, and this is what I came up with. So
She is
That's
in
awesome.
charge
And
of
then you
doing,
baked it.
and then I baked it. Yes,
Yeah, I'm
for like
putting
an
her in
hour.
charge of all of my coffee.
Yeah, it's awesome.
it
dyeing
smells
for
really
them.
good.
Yeah, it does. That's one of my favorite things about coffee dyeing is the smell.
Well, and I use these old like Christmas coffee things that we had, so each one of them was a different flavor. So it has like
A little
all
bit
the
of like
different,
maybe
like,
cinnamon, a little
peppermint
bit of
and cinnamon
nutmeg
and
and
stuff like that
peppermint.
in it.
Yeah.
I really like it.
So those are my plans. And if I get really brave, I may start this
Teresa Kogut.
little Teresa Kogut sampler because I really want to get started on
Yeah,
it.
I love
So
that. I think you'll
Me too.
enjoy that.
we'll see.
Plan, Sarah?
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. My plan is to have the little urn of horrors finished up. I want to finally finish it off, and then I have a couple other things I want to get done to put before I mail that out to her. And then I want to keep working on my vintage animals sampler, but I also think I'm going to go ahead and there's several things I want to start. And so I think I'm going to try and get a start on the Tiny Modernist Sleepy Hollow, the new Tiny Modernist, and then kind of have those. Those might be my 25/7 things that I do for a while.
Yeah.
So those are my plans. We'll see what happens this week.
All right. Well, that's it for probably stitchy things. I think that's quite enough. So we'll do a quick little media corner, and then we'll move on to our Disney haul, which isn't gigantic, but we tend to buy things at Disney. So media, what am I reading, watching, or listening to? Reading, I haven't been reading a great deal. I've just been stitching and watching TV and stuff. So, but I did start rereading Dead
Sorry.
Until Dark, which is the first Sophie Stackhouse book by Charlene Harris. It was just on my Kindle, and I was like, I haven't read this in a long time. And so I'm about a quarter of the way through it, and I'll probably keep reading it. I really always enjoyed reading those books. So, I've been watching The X-Files. Not a big shocker. I did catch up on SVU, Law and Order SVU, and what's the new one called?
Criminal Intent?
No.
No. Organized
Crime. I caught up on those, which I had them all saved up because I knew some of them were like crossovers, so you had to watch them in order, which was fine. But so I caught up on those. I watched. I watched some Floss Tubes, Still See Stitchers, and I think I watched Rolodex, her most recent, Memphis Sarah, Joyful Stitcher, just a few here and there, but I've mostly been watching X-Files. All the way through season 5, watched the first movie. And after that, I don't know what I'm gonna watch. I have plans, but we'll see. And then we listened to a lot of My Favorite Murder. We went back and started at the beginning on our way to Florida. On our way to Minnesota, we listened to some of that Bailey Sarian
Dark History.
Dark History. And then did we listen to like A Strange and Unexplained, or I don't know.
Yeah, we listened to A Paranormal Chicks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
I have been watching is what is it? Murder, Mystery, and Makeup
Mm-hmm.
Mondays by Bailey Sarian. That's all I've watched for like the last 2 weeks
On the YouTube.
on YouTube. Just her little true crime videos. And I haven't really listened to anything other than the podcast we listened to on the way to Minnesota, and I am definitely not reading anything.
But what I'm listening to also counts as my reading because it's an audio book.
I like Ashley.
It's called De-Evolution, and it's a book by Max Brooks. Did he write World War Z?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's well, here, let me see if
I'm pretty sure he's Mel Brooks' son.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm trying to see the whole picture because I want to read the whole title.
It's about Bigfoot, isn't it?
It's about Bigfoot. It's about it's the true account of the Bigfoot massacre on Mount Rainier. So anyway, true account.
That's amazing.
But I like
There's a
it.
giant foot on the cover.
And yeah, there's a giant Bigfoot on the cover. I really like it. I just need to listen to it more because it's like this girl's journal. They find this girl's journal.
I feel like I'm not in my car right now that much because I'm not driving back
Yeah.
to work. So.
Yeah, but I listened to it the other night while I was cleaning my sewing room and my TV room. Listening to the same podcast as them. Well, plus this. I didn't think they'd want to listen to it on the trip. And watching Paranormal Caught on Camera. Creepy stuff out there in the world. And people are catching it on camera. I've lost my mind. I've gone off the deep end. And Bailey Sarian, I'm caught up on like all of her newer videos. So I went all the way back and found her very first Murder, Mystery, Makeup Monday. And so I'm kind of working my way through those. And I think that's it.
Yep. We're also rewatching the Conjuring movies like from the beginning. Like
yeah.
and not just those, but like the entire
Universe.
Yeah.
Conjuring universe.
So that's what we watched in the hotel
In
room.
chronological
And we didn't
order.
make it. We only watched, I think, 3 or 4.
Four.
Oh, 4. Yeah, that's
I
pretty
think we
good.
made it through 4.
Yeah.
So we're gonna watch them tonight when we eat tacos.
We've got 4 more to
Yeah.
watch.
It's the itch. So anyway, so that's it for like normal Floss to be business, but we're going to do our Disney haul for those of you that are interested. So we went to Disney 2 weeks ago, something like that. We stayed for a week, like 5 nights. We stayed at the Yacht Club Resort, which is in the Epcot area. It's on the little boardwalk. There's the boardwalk, Swan and Dolphin, Yacht Club, and Beach Club. We originally were going to stay at Grand Floridian because that's like our favorite place. And it was like, we're going to splurge. We're going back after 2 years. But we found out the monorail line, this won't mean anything to people who don't care about Disney, but I warned you.
But it
ahead of
meant
time.
something to us.
I warned you ahead of time.
We
If you don't
warned
wanna
you.
go to Disney.
Click it off.
The monorail line was not running to Epcot, and they extended Flower and Garden. That's our favorite festival We love it. So we wanted to go to Epcot the most. That's just honestly, that's probably where we spend Epcot, Magic Kingdom, are where we spend most of our time when we go to Disney.
Oh yeah, because we usually only spend a day at Hollywood Studios or half a day and half a day at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah,
That's just
that's us.
that's just not our jam.
And so at Yacht Club, you can walk to Epcot, and it's really not a bad walk.
It's
at
not
all.
at all.
They also, if you don't want to walk, they have like a little boat that will take you.
The boat's really hot.
Yeah, it's like open air sort of.
It's open air, but
but
not
it has
the
a roof.
windows.
Yeah,
Whereas like the boats at Grand Floridian, they were totally open air. It had a little roof, but there weren't the windows
you
on the
get a breeze.
sides, so you get the breeze.
so we stayed at Yacht Club. It was our first time there. It was our first time staying in that little boardwalk area. We did like it. I missed the Grand Floridian, but I liked it. The room was really nice. The pool was incredible.
The pool was probably one of the best pools. I mean, and we've seen people say that it's probably one of the best pools of the properties we've stayed in.
Yeah,
I really liked that there were a lot of, like, the main pool didn't go above 5 feet, which being 5'1 3/4" was really nice. And there were benches that were built in to different parts of the pool, so you could just go and
Yeah.
sit.
yeah, and just enjoy the
And
pool.
just enjoy
And the
the
water would
pool.
maybe come up to like your chest or your
Yeah,
shoulders. Still
it was
on the
really
bench. It was
nice.
nice.
That would be nice.
And they had a lazy river, but we never got in and tried it.
Yeah, the lazy river goes to you at my story. I told this to Bobby and Sarah last night.
Yeah.
The lazy river goes, we were like, can we just walk the lazy river? Because we don't really want to do the inner tubes and blah, blah,
Because
blah.
we have a local pool that's close that has a lazy river, and there's mornings where you can go and walk it. And so we thought, okay, well, we'll just
Shoot, and the lifeguard's like, well, yeah, but you probably don't want to because it goes to 8 feet. I've never known the lazy river to go 8 feet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, we're just gonna stay over here in
Yeah,
this
we're
pool
just
because
gonna stay
I
over
don't
here.
swim. I mean, I had ear problems as a kid, so I just never learned to swim.
and I swim well enough to probably survive until the sharks attack. I mean, that's I don't know. I don't even. The sharks would probably be like, maybe we should, let her go. She's doing her best. We'll swim on by.
So we enjoyed the yacht club. Once I had seen the beach club, I think I would have liked the beach club better. It's just lighter colors and higher ceilings. Yacht club is supposed to be like a yacht. It's got low ceilings, dark colors. But the room was great. The room was equal to our room. We would get at Grand Floridian.
Yes,
It's just
it's just
we like Grand
we
Floridian.
love the Grand
We're fancy.
Floridian.
We
we're
fancy.
We're fancy.
But we spent a lot of time at Epcot like we thought we would. When we originally were planning the trip, because COVID was kind of kicking up, I was like, I don't know how comfortable I'll feel eating inside restaurants. So we're like, we'll book one meal. And then we were like, we'll book 2 like sit down meals.
And then we were like, maybe we should have a meal for each day
Because you want to escape the heat.
then you escape the heat and you rest.
We ended up eating 2 sit down meals a day because it was incredibly hot, and you have to escape the heat at some point and
Yeah.
the people and just sit and relax. And it was honestly the best thing we ever did. We
Yeah.
never thought we would be, when they do dining plan, which they're not, they do a deluxe dining plan, which is 2 table service every day. And we're like, we'll never use that.
Yeah.
We totally would have used it because it was just, we tried places we've not been. All the food was great. Some of the stuff had changed because places that we go each time, a lot of the food had changed because they're having trouble getting stuff from vendors and that kind of thing. But I thought in a lot of ways it was better.
But yeah, I was gonna say like things they substituted, like Liberty Tree has always had Stouffer's mac and cheese, and this time it was a different type
It was
of
like
mac.
real mac and
It
cheese.
was like real mac and cheese, and it was.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a Stouffer's, my mom's a huge Stouffer's mac and cheese fan, so I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not. But this was like real mac and cheese. It was really good.
Yeah, so everywhere we ate was great. If you're ever thinking about going to Disney, just ask because I got all kinds of recommendations. We realized that we've now at Epcot, there's like a sit down restaurant in every country, not to mention a few in like the Future World part.
yeah,
And we realized that we've eaten at every sit down restaurant at Epcot except Teppanyaki, which is in Japan, which we do want to eat at.
Mhm.
And I think we had booked a reservation for our trip that had to get canceled because of COVID.
Yes, we had one booked, but
So Teppanyaki and then Monsieur Paul, which is like the slightly fancier restaurant in France Pavilion. So
and then when the space restaurant opens, that'll be
Yeah.
one. But
goals, hashtag
Yeah.
goals.
so
Every restaurant, every park, which
Yeah.
is what we need.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we didn't eat a ton of junk. We didn't eat a ton of snacks. We didn't really eat a lot of desserts because we didn't have dining plan. and
That,
it's
yeah,
included,
that was one
so-
thing we were kind of talking to our dad about when we got back is number one, I think we may have made out better not being on the dining plan. Money wise, I don't think it really was any more expensive than when we are on the dining plan. And we didn't feel pressured to, okay, we've got to make sure we eat these quick services. We've got to make sure we get these snacks in. So it was just kind of, we'd have those meals and maybe we'd have a snack here or there, but you didn't feel pressured that you had to get all that done.
Yeah.
And just we're constantly eating. So
Yeah, we really enjoyed ourselves. So it was a nice trip back. We got to ride most of the stuff we wanted to ride.
mhm.
You know, if the place felt too crowded, we just left. There was a marked difference between the day we arrived and the day we left as far as crowds, masks, things that were open, lines, like the plexiglass between lines. I mean,
It started coming down.
yeah, which was fine. I mean, we felt pretty comfortable. There were maybe a few times where I was kind of like, no. One of them was theaters like PhilharMagic, which is one of my favorite things. It's a 3D show. They were packed.
They
no
were
seats
packing them to
between,
capacity. Yeah.
and not crazy comfortable with that but we're a little like, I'm definitely more like a COVID careful because, you know, anxiety, it's real, folks.
Well, and I'm not crazy with that on a normal year. Because
Yeah.
I'm
And we were
claustrophobic, so-
uncomfortable on one of our bus trips. We did not take the bus a ton because we could walk to Epcot.
Mhm.
But when we went to Magic Kingdom, they were
Yeah.
like, it was back to old school, like New York subway, people standing over you,
Oh, yeah.
which I don't like pre-pandemic.
Yeah, no, that was one reason we stay at Grand Floridian is because we can take the monorail to both of our favorite parks. So
But if you're thinking about going to Disney, I mean, I would recommend it. If it's your first and only family trip,
wait till next year.
don't go now.
Don't go now.
Don't go now. It's not the same. Some stuff's
'Cause
still not open.
I think you're gonna miss things that you're gonna want to do, and you're
Yeah.
gonna spend more time in
a little
lines.
better now because fireworks are back.
Yeah, fireworks are back, but I would, if it had been our one and only trip, we would have waited
Yeah.
till next summer.
But if you're a person that goes once a year or twice a year or something,
Do it.
go.
Just
I mean,
go.
I felt safe. I think Disney was doing everything to keep you safe. Yes, people aren't necessarily wearing their masks, but I think they're still doing what they can.
But we still saw a lot of people, and especially kids,
Yes.
families with kids. I still noticed a lot wearing like the kids wearing masks, and so the parents would wear a mask, kind
Yeah.
of. And as far as the rudeness to cast members that we had kind of been dreading seeing,
Yeah.
because we'd read about that a lot on Facebook. We only really saw one person who was being rude to a cast member. All of our cast members were super kind. Our servers at every restaurant, I mean, we really overtipped because everyone was just, I think they are as happy to be getting back to the normal pace of things
Yeah, I mean, we all
as
want
we
that.
are.
Yeah.
And I think they're just happy when they have guests who are kind to them as well. So
Yeah, I think you just have to expect, like, you might wait a little longer, or you might, you know, it just is what it is. But we really enjoyed it. It was nice to be back, and I'm ready to go back. I think it made it harder. It's harder now because
yeah, like
I gotta wait.
like last week, she was like, "When can we go back?
Yeah, let's
Can
go back.
we
There's
back
fireworks
before
now. Let's
school
go back."
starts." No, I can't afford that.
So we'll stop yammering and tell you our haul. But if
Our
you ever want to know
treasures.
like more about Disney, feel free to reach out. Some of you probably know way more than we do. But
Oh yeah. But if you want to know how to chunky old girls do it,
right, how we get through there.
how we get
It
through
definitely
it,
encouraged us to get in better shape because this is probably the most out of shape I've been for a Disney trip. I'm just going to be honest. And because, you know, we've been sedentary for for 2 years or 18 months or whatever. So, but we did it and it was great. And it felt good. It honestly felt good to know you can walk 7.5 miles a day
Right.
and, you know, in the
and not
90-degree
die.
temperatures. Yeah. So I know I can move my butt at home too. So things I bought. My number one pavilion at Epcot in the World Showcase is Norway. I love the Norway pavilion, mostly because I used to love the Maelstrom, which was the best bad ride ever. But they replaced it with Frozen. And so I bought this Norway Spirit jersey. It's the only Spirit jersey I bought, which is unusual for me because I usually buy a lot, but I love it. It's very cool. I like the
it, and
material.
It's softer than
It's
the
softer.
other ones.
And it even feels a little bit more lightweight.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. This is the only reason I'm excited for cooler weather because I don't want winter to come. I also bought, I think Sarah and I both bought this.
We did. I have one too.
I
just
bought
didn't bring mine
one
with me.
Loungefly backpack. So I bought the Disney Park icon one. They do one pretty much every year. And I was excited because Toad's on the front. They're the pattern does move. You know, some of them are super mass produced, so everything's in the same spot on every bag, but these are not. The pattern does move. So if you like, you can kind of look for your people. Like I wanted Big Al and Toad. I really like it. Anyway, it's very cute. I haven't started carrying it yet because I also bought a
Vera Bradley.
Vera Bradley bag, and that's what I've been carrying. What else did I buy? We got these Spike sippers. This is
They were so good.
we don't need them.
We
What
don't
am I
need
gonna do
them.
with this?
What are we
But
gonna
we
do
got
with
it. So this had like a peach honey
Slushy
peach flavor, and
thing.
it was the best
It was.
slushy.
It was
I'm not a big
awesome.
slushy person. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So I bought this. He's cleaned out. He's gonna hang out in my house for the rest of time because what else am I gonna do with my little random bee? And then we bought a ton of pins. I got a pop socket. I bought a new phone case that has like
2 new phone
Disney
cases.
Park snacks, and then one from Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So I bought this little Orange Bird pop socket because Orange Bird is one of my favorites. I don't know if I'll put them on my phone. I might turn them into a needle minder.
I'm thinking about doing the same thing.
And then we bought a ton of pins because we're going to turn them into needle minders. So first of all, we went to the Loveless Cafe, you saw on our Instagram, which is one of the 3 of us, our favorite places in the world. If you've never been to the Loveless Cafe, it's in Nashville, Tennessee. And it used to be like, it was a private residence, and then it became a motel. And then they served at the motel, they served fried chicken and in this little restaurant, and now it's a restaurant in like event space.
It's so worth it.
The food is so good. I mean, seriously, I'm sure that maybe people who live in Nashville are like, oh, it's touristy, whatever, but the food is so good. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah. It's
The biscuits are amazing.
Yeah.
Preserves, the fried chicken's incredible. They have this creamed corn that is next level. So we got Loveless Cafe pins. I got 2 Norway pins because I have a Norway problem. Sorry for the crinkles. Should have opened these previously. So these are my 2 Norway pins. One is the little Viking, which made me think of Maelstrom. It's kind of hard to see because it's real
It's
dark.
really hard to see.
And then the other one made me think of like the toll painting, like that Scandinavian toll painting, or which has a name that I can't think of. I got a Mad Madam Mim pin. She's one of my favorite Disney villains from A Sword in the Stone. I got a Mickey Pride pin. I got,
Those aren't from our trip.
I know, I was gonna make needle minder stuff.
Oh,
okay.
I'm not
Okay.
showing. No, you don't have to.
Okay.
I got
France.
France, the macaron. And then I also got the UK. That's the next one.
okay. I'll figure that out.
I got a
Never
UK
mind.
pin, and then I got my last one was this Mouseketeer pin.
I can't find my mouse.
No, there's another one. What did we do with hand me your
Madame Leota.
Yeah, I've already cut the
and then
back
we
off.
each
Yours
got
is
one of
fine.
these. We got one for Whitney as well. So this is Madame Leota because Haunted Mansion is his life.
And they got me Dr. Facilier.
So we bought all these pins, and I got this little keychain that's one of the little Grim Green Ghosts from Haunted Mansion. But like I didn't, I bought a t-shirt, but it was bought 2 actually. I bought a Ratatouille shirt, which is blue stripe, and it has like Ratatouille popping up out of the pocket.
It's really cute.
And then the other one I bought was for Loki. So it's the TVA, the Time Variance Authority or whatever.
Oh, there, that pin's over there.
Yeah, because you cut the thing off. Oh, and I bought like a Miss Minutes pin because
Yeah,
I'm
from
into
the-
Loki currently. So that's what else I've been watching, Loki. So that's what I bought.
I also have a Spike. I also have the Loungefly. But then this was the Loungefly I specifically wanted when we went. And it says Meowgical on the back. I did not get a phone case because we saw an Orange Bird 3D phone case one day, and I was like, I'm not sure that's one of the one I want. By the time I decided I wanted the next day, it was gone. So I ordered a Spike phone case, and it's sitting at home. It's not on my phone yet. I also got the Mad Madam Mim. I got Madame Leota. There's my Disney Pride pin. I got an Alice with books. I love Alice.
Yeah, that's cute.
I got the same Norway pin, and then we got one of the Norway toll painting pins for Mom. and one of the England pins I also got, and we got one for Mom to make needle minders. I have always said, I wish there was something small I could get from each country. And this time they had them. This was when I think one of the first times they've had pins for every country.
Yeah, I think they
Maybe
used to,
they've
but
had
I
them
don't- yeah.
before. The only country I did not get a pin for was Japan. There was no pin for Japan.
Which is weird.
So if you know that there's a Disney Japan pin out there somewhere, let me know.
Yeah.
So there's Mexico. I got another England one, UK
The
one,
fish and chip
it's
shop.
fish and chips shop. Because that's one of my favorite things. Italy. Gelato. China.
That's cool.
I love that one.
I
it.
love this one.
Canada with the guys in the canoe. Love it. I got the same France pin as Carrie did, and then Germany and Morocco.
Germany had really cute pins.
Germany,
There's another
yeah.
one with Minnie like in Lederhosen or
Yeah,
whatever, so
I could have gotten, some of the countries had more than one pin to represent them. And then I also have this Musketeer pin, but it's somewhere at home on my table. And I got the little ghost keychain like Carrie got. They also had a little Dole Whip one, and he's on another bag. I think he's on my Small World bag, because I got a really cool Small World bag too.
Yeah, so we spent money, but not what we normally would have spent on a Disney trip, because
Mm-mm.
I think we were looking at pins and stuff, and they're not cheap, but less expensive than like 5 Christmas.
Right.
But yeah, I felt like there was not a ton of newer merch, but I think it's also still like a vendor thing. Like they're struggling with, getting like everything else, everything's moving slower. So, but just more money we can spend next time. Plus, we have enough Disney. So didn't really, but there was really nothing other than their phone case that we couldn't find. I usually buy ears. I didn't buy any ears. I wanted the Loki. They have Loki ears that have like the horns. But they didn't have them. They were sold out.
Yeah, we didn't see those at all.
So that's our Disney haul. I hope that was exciting and not too terrible for all of you. Whitney's like, oh Lord.
oh my God.
Let it end.
Let it end.
But I don't know when we'll be back, probably next summer. So we don't have the same spring break this year, so I'd love to go over spring break, but it is what it is.
Hers is 1 week and mine's the next.
Yeah, so that happens sometimes. So anyway, we will let you go because we've kept you for a while. But yeah, if you ever have questions about Disney, there's it's amazing how many floss tubers and stitchers are also Disney fans, but and probably that know more than I do. So, but feel free to reach out if you're ever wondering if a restaurant's good or that kind of thing. We're pretty easy to please when it comes to Disney food. Usually there aren't many restaurants that we've been to that we're like, I want to go back there. But we know Disney more than some, but less than many. So, but anyway, we will let you go. We'll be back next week where hopefully we'll have finishes. I'm not gonna have any finishes.
Well, I'm hoping to have
Sarah
a
will
picture
have
of
one
a finish.
finish.
Yeah, I am
You
gonna
might have
finish
a
it
finish.
this
I
week if
might,
it kills me.
maybe, yeah.
I'm never gonna have finishes. You know what? I'll probably have 3 new starts. Who
Yeah.
knows? Because that's all I do. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have a happy 4th. I hope that your neighbors don't go completely ape crazy. I almost said a bad word. Like my neighbors are gonna do. It's gonna be nuts. So yeah, I just stay at home and try to keep my cats from going completely insane. So anyway, take care. Happy 4th. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
See you real soon. Bye.